James Harden finally got his wish here after a huge blockbuster trade going down in the NBA today, going to the Brooklyn Nets, and this deal included the Rockets, the Nets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Indiana Pacers. And the Rockets here, they got a great haul, in my opinion, in this deal. You get 4 first-rounders, they're unprotected, and then you get Victor Oladipo, who's a former All-Star in this trade. So to give up James Harden and get 4 first-rounders and Depot in this one, this means the Rockets, they make a trade where they're still trying to compete and they're building for the future. And this is the type of deal you want to get. James Harden, he didn't want to be there in Houston, so you might as well trade him off, and that's what they did. So Harden now, he goes to Brooklyn, and so far this season, he's been struggling mightily, is James Harden, with 4 games in a row under 20 points for the first time. He's done that in 8 seasons for Harden. But Harden now, he reunites with his former teammate, Kevin Durant, where these two guys made it to the NBA Finals with the Thunder years ago. And now this Brooklyn Net team, they are stacked. But I think they gave up a lot. They gave up 2 young kids who are doing pretty good this season, in Caris LeVert and Jared Allen. But now Durant and Harden can coexist. I think they can in this backcourt. I think James Harden now, he's going to take things serious. He got his way once again. He got traded here to Brooklyn. And Kevin Durant, this is Kevin Durant's team. He's not going to take any crap from Harden, in my opinion. And Harden, he landed where he wanted to be. So these guys, they definitely could play together. They passed the basketball well. We saw Durant last night with not many of his top players on the team playing with 13 assists. We've seen Harden the last few seasons average 9 to 12 assists a game in that range. And now Harden, once again, playing with another superstar and former teammate. So Harden, I think he's going to get in shape. He's going to get back to the player he was now. He's got to drop 15 to 20 pounds, maybe even more. And he just didn't want to be there in Houston, so he gave up on the team. He said it in the interview last night that he gave the city everything he had, but he can't do it anymore. So that was the final nail in the coffin here for James Harden and the Houston Rockets. So Kevin Durant this year, he's averaging 30 a game. I think that'll drop a little to 26 or 27. And Harden, I think his numbers now will go up from 22 a game to the 27, 28, because if he gets in good shape and he gets his mind right like he was last season entering the bubble, James Harden, he's going to give it a go and he's going to get better here. So James Harden, I think he could finish the season as a top 10 player. Now he's going to Brooklyn. He's playing with Steve Nash, and believe it or not, Mike D'Antoni's an assistant over there in Brooklyn. And James Harden, he liked Mike D'Antoni a lot, and now they're reunited here, and I think Harden's going to be motivated. And if you got him in a trade on buying him low last week, I think it's going to pay off for you. So Harden, he's probably going to miss a game or 2 before he gets to Brooklyn, but he's going to be a monster, I believe. He's going to be in better shape, and he got to go where he wanted to land in this deal. Now to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they land Taurean Prince and the prized young center, Jared Allen, who's only 22 years old. The only thing with Allen here, he's got Andre Drummond in front of him over here in Cleveland. So Drummond, he's not going to get traded, I think. So Allen, can he start at power forward? I doubt it. He'll probably come off the bench, but Allen, it's a good get for Cleveland. He's a young guy. He's another guy to add to the nucleus over there with Sexton, Garland, Porter, Okoro, and Larry Nance Jr. And Allen, I think he'll play 20, 25 minutes a game over there in Cleveland. He'll get an opportunity. It was a big deal for Cleveland to jump in here and get the youngster, and I like the landing spot for him. Taurean Prince, they land as well. He's been playing about 15, 20 minutes a game so far here for the Brooklyn Nets, but I don't think he'll have much value in Cleveland as Prince. He'll be a guy that comes off the bench, or I could see them even buying him out and him going to a contender in the next few weeks or months here as Prince. So Prince, no value. Allen, a good landing spot. Now here to Indiana, they get Caris LeVert, and that's a pretty good get for Victor Oladipo, who is another guy supposedly unhappy over there in Indiana. So I like the deal a lot. They get Caris LeVert. He could fit in with pretty much any team, I believe, in the NBA. And it's sky's the limit for LeVert. We saw last week when Irvin was out, he averaged 26 points a game. I don't think his numbers will be that big over there in Indiana because they got a well-rounded team over there, and I think LeVert's going to fit this system a little better than Oladipo. Now you got Brogdon, Karis LeVert, you got Miles Turner and Sabonis. So this Indiana Pacer team, they're pretty loaded, and I think they beefed up a little because I think LeVert fits the system better than Oladipo, and now Oladipo, he goes to Houston. It's a good landing spot for him. He's going to play in an offense where it's going to be more freestyle play and more small ball type of game because over there in Indiana, they go with the more traditional lineup with the two bigs at 7 foot, Sabonis and Turner. Over here in Houston, you got Christian Wood who can run, and he's a big man. You got P.J. Tucker who's starting at powered forward, and now your backcourt's going to be John Wall and Victor Oladipo with DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench. So that's a pretty solid team over there in Houston. This was a perfect deal for them. They're rebuilding and trying to compete at the same time. We're only 9 games into the season, and I think this Houston Rocket team, they're going to show James Harden up now and prove him wrong that they didn't need him over there and that they can make the playoffs. So Houston flipping their whole roster in the last couple months, first trading Westbrook for Wall, trading James Harden for 4 first-round picks and Victor Oladipo. What a blockbuster deal this is. And this is one of the biggest trades to go down, I believe, in my opinion, in NBA history. So that's my fantasy take on this 4-team blockbuster deal, with James Harden going to the Nets, Victor Oladipo going to Houston, Karis LeVert to Indiana, and Jared Allen to the Cleveland Cavaliers.